Okay, we'll be back to take calls for Stevie Nicks. I really want to play more of that, but we just sort of faded out. And we'll be listening to some of our old hits and some brand new songs, which will soon become hits. Of course, I would stop dragging my heart around. David. Okay, this is the Beamer back on ROCKLINE with my guest, Stevie Nicks. Stevie, please bear with me when I ask you this first question, because I only ask it because I want to save somebody, a lot of somebody's unnecessary calls. Okay, as of right now, a lot of the stations have been playing over the global satellite network, have been playing cuts off of Mick Fleetwood's new album, The Visitor, right? Now, here you are coming out with your new LP as of Wednesday, Belladonna, your new solo LP, and people in and out of the industry are about to say again, uh-oh, there goes the group. So what about it? Let's get out of the way. You guys are still hanging in, right?
We certainly are. We're recording another album.
That's right.
We just spent a couple months in France.
That's right. Okay, Tom Petty was on the show about a few weeks ago, and he mentioned that he got a call. Somebody asked, well, you worked together in the song and also Insider.
Yeah.
And they said, well, is they breaking up? And he said, no, I saw them in France. They're recording, and that takes care of that. So anybody wanted to call about that? Forget it. It's out. We know the group hangs loose. Tim of Syracuse, check in from 94 Rock.
Hello, Stevie.
Hello.
First of all, I'd like to say I think you're a beautiful person inside and out, and you and Fleetwood Mac are great musicians and performers.
Thank you.
My question is, did you find it difficult making your album without the solid Fleetwood and McVie rhythm section, and Lindsey Buckingham's arranging and producing?
Well, I didn't find it difficult in that I always find it difficult, doing my songs because I need help. So whether it is Fleetwood Mac or whether it is somebody else that is willing to give me the time that I need, I mean, the members of Fleetwood Mac will say to you, sometimes she needs help and sometimes she's cool by herself. I was afraid enough doing this thing by myself that I took help from whoever I could get it from, It wasn't like I constantly sat around and said, I wish they were here, because I knew that I had to do this by myself. I had to grow up a little bit and be able to handle something alone for once, just to prove it to myself I could do it without people that I'd known for 1,000 years, Just to be able, you have to, at some point in your life, let yourself know that you can take care of yourself.
That's it. Thank you. I want to remind everybody that the numbers there. Toll free 800-421-3222 and call collect area code 213-520-5000 if you're calling from California or from Canada. The other number, of course, is for the U.S. of A. Okay, Jackie of Jacksonville. Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Okay.
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. I read in an article that there was a lawsuit against Warner Brothers concerning the hit single Sarah off the Tusk album. And I was wondering whatever became of it.
Well, there was a suit brought against me for, they said that I stole the words to Sarah, and I suppose that everybody thought that I would just settle out of court, but not me. I did not settle out of court. I don't think there's anybody that won or lost. The lady that sued me didn't win. She didn't lose. I didn't win. I didn't lose. We spent a lot of money, but the song is mine.
Yeah.
And I won.
The song is hers, and Sarah is hers. Thank you, Jackie. Let's go to Kelly of Pasadena. Hi, Kelly. You're on the ROCKLINE.
Hi. Stevie, you have said that in this business that you have to go on even when you don't feel like going on because no one else can go on for you. My question was there any time in your Fleetwood Mac tours where you just couldn't do it? You couldn't sing because you were too sick or whatever, and you had to cancel a show after you've gotten on stage?
Never after on stage. We canceled a couple of shows when I accidentally left my contact lenses in for 13 hours after not wearing them for 6 years and literally burned my eyes really badly, and I was in bandages for 4 days. We canceled the show, 2 shows then. We have never gone on stage and canceled a show, ever. Too much pride.
Good girl. Since Sarah was brought up, how many songs have you actually written? Do you have them numbered down?
A lot of songs. I wouldn't even...
Checking with her.
Hundreds. I mean...
Hundreds?
Lots of them.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And only about 3 or 4 appear in any particular LP.
Since I was 16. That's many years.
All copyrighted and all ready to go if you wanted to use them. Amazing. Let's talk to, hey, we have a station in New Zealand called Radio Haureki, and they just punched up and showed me that Barry in New Zealand is standing by with a question for you. Barry, go ahead.
Good evening, Bamer, and good evening, Stevie.
Hello. Are you in Auckland or Wellington or where?
Auckland.
Right. The
Auckland?
question I have for you is this.
I
In your
can't.
opinion, what
Alright.
were the factors that made the Rumours album such a big hit that it was?
What made it such a big hit?
I hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Now, yes, go ahead.
I think that the stars were really right. I think that it was at the right time and the right place for that particular 10 or 11 or whatever it was songs. It was perfect. Every once in a while something comes along that's absolutely perfect. And Rumours was just perfect. And unbeknownst to anybody in the band.
Yeah, but your occultness never had anything to do with it, right? It just happened.
No.
That's right.
No.
Thank you. Yes, we're in Auckland, New Zealand. It's already Tuesday night. It's
Oh,
Tuesday
I
night. It's
know.
wild. I still can't fathom it, you know. Let's take some more calls on the rock line. Debbie of Columbus of WLBQ. Go ahead, Debbie.
Hi, Stevie. I really admire your writing, and I was wondering where and how do you get your ideas?
Well, Debbie, sometimes I read books, and when I read them, a sentence comes along or a description or something that I like walking through an antique store and seeing a lamp or something, or an old dress or something that just makes you kind of go, wow. And I'll just jot it down. Or, I'll be in a restaurant and I'll think of something and I'll write it on a menu and I'll just go home and continue with it. It's like I need an initial thought. The name Rhiannon was an initial thought. The name Belladonna was an initial thought, and then you're home free once you find that one little phrase that really makes you go, wow, I can't wait to get home and write something about this. Sometimes those thoughts don't come in, but if you look around for them, go to a grocery store, go to an antique store, go to a crystal store. And you'll see something that'll make you want to write about it if you like to write.
That brings to mind a question. Do you write the lyrics first before you sit down to write the melody?
Not always.
Not always.
Sometimes I do. And see, I keep a journal, a typewritten prose journal. And so I go back and make that serious journal into, I'll go back and make it into rhyme. I'll take a paragraph that I really like and I'll make it into rhyme. But also, I'll go and sit at the piano and I'll play, like the chords of Sarah, dun, dun, dun. And something will make me say, wait a minute, baby, without even thinking. And then I just immediately I start screaming, bring me a pencil and a pad and put it up here on the piano. And then I just write it all together. So it just happens to be how where the moon is at the moment.
No, hey, we're almost running out of time. We have more calls, and
You mean that's it?
no, just for now. Oh no, we'll be back, of course, with this particular segment. I got carried away. We'll be hearing some more things from Stevie Nicks, David Lindley standing by. So we'll also have a rock report from Syracuse with the rock scene out there. So be listening when the rock line continues on the Global Satellite Network.
What time made you go?
BMR back here on the rock line with my guest, the beautiful Ms. Stevie Nicks. And Stevie, the Global Satellite Network is about to take us to radio station 94 Rock in Syracuse, where Tom Nast is standing by with a live report on the rock scene out there. Go ahead, Tom. Hi there.
Hello?
Tom Nast, check in.
Hello, thanks, Beamer. You there?
Yeah, we're here. You're there, too. Go ahead.
Work here was treated to cut leather and lace from Stevie's great new LP, Belladonna, about 3 weeks ago. We did debut it and got in a little trouble for it, but believe me, if there's any lady in the world I'd risk getting in trouble for, it would definitely be you, Stevie. And the rock and roll happenings here in Syracuse, we're really proud to see our favorite heavy metal heroes, the Rods, happening all over.
Well, thank you, Tommy Nast of the 94 Rock, and you played leather and lace, huh? Son of a gun. Good for you. I really mean it. It's a lot of fun. We're back on the rock line with Stevie Nicks, and we're going to take some calls. And don't forget the numbers are area code 800-421-3222 for all of the U.S. of A, area code 213-520-5000, toll-free, California and Canada. Let's talk now to Norman of Omaha. Listen to us over Z92. Go ahead, Norman.
Hi, Stevie.
Hi.
Me and my family like you a lot, and I've never seen an American concert, but I saw you on 2020
you.
I'd like to ask, were you aware of Tom Petty before you and him teamed up?
I was very aware of Tom Petty. When he did his album, You're Gonna Get It, that was the first time I'd ever heard Tom Petty, and I went out and got the album. And I recorded a lot of that stuff. I was taking, at that point, trying to get in some kind of shape. And I was taking a lot of Russian ballet, and I did all my ballet exercises to that record. Like I had it recorded, with fingernail polish on the tape that said TP with a B, right, for ballet. So, and I used to say to people, wow, if I ever was in another band, I'd love to be in Tom Petty's band, but don't take me seriously. That's what I used to kid around and say to people, not having any idea that I would ever meet Tom Petty. And then I met Tom Petty, and of course, how do you tell Tom Petty that you did your ballet exercises?
You tell him that you did your ballet.
You do, and he looks at you and goes, I mean, it's like, he goes, oh, well, okay. But it's a very kind of weird thing, because I never said to myself or to anybody else that it's like when you're in rock and roll bands, you love being in bands. You don't like being by yourself very much, so you think, well, I could just go around and be in all the different bands, and just drop in kind of for a weekend or something,
Exactly.
It's been very exciting for me. But no, he was really one of my really dearest favorites for a long time before I ever met him.
And then, of course, so Insiders was Insiders, right? Was the song that he was supposed to do for you. And then all of a sudden you sat in with him and you were doing harmony.
Yeah.
And they all
he did write it he wrote it for me. And then I went down to the studio, and I really am a harmony singer.
Yeah.
That's where, Lindsay's and my roots are straight, solid out of harmony singing school. And I said, well, the only way I can learn this song, Tom, is to really sing it along with you.
And that's how you did it.
And when I went out and did that, he said, it's really pretty singing it together, huh? And I said, yeah, I knew it would be. See, I always know that I can always put a terrific high harmony on anything. So I said, well, wow, what a great idea you had. And so it was like, that was the demo. I mean, that was, they cut that just as a demo, and Stan overdubbed drums and stuff to it. And it was one of those things, I talk about those perfect things that accidentally happens, that nobody expects to happen.
So he kept that in the album and gave you Don't Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
Because he needed a ballad and I needed a rock and roll song.
Okay.
My guitar isn't terrific, so you can't really write those kind of rock and roll songs on piano.
Okay. Let's go to another call. Let's go to Trip of Norfolk on WNOR. Hi there.
Hello, Stevie Nick?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
What was your reaction of being asked to join Fleetwood Mac? And were you aware of who Fleetwood Mac was?
My reaction to the asking, speech communication, 5 years I took in college.
Go ahead.
My reaction was like somewhat awestruck. I had a friend of my brother's who was about, like 6 years younger than me, and he said, wow, I saw those guys drive away in black Fleetwood limousines. And I went, right, I'm a waitress, right? And I'm going, that's for me. That's for me. And I was just totally awestruck.
You're there. As I mentioned before, Stevie, you wrote the song Dreams, and of course was the first number one single, I think, that the Fleetwood Mac had ever had. And it's still my favorite. Let's go to that phenomenal Dreams out of the Rumours LP. And
now, there you go again.
There you go again.
Beamer, you say you want your freedom.
That's right. That's the opening.
Well, you can't have it.
Oh, babe, thank you.
It's mine.
Let's take it now. Here's Dreams. All right, Dreams out of the Rumours LP, and just told me a phenomenal story out of one of the cuts we'll be playing, A Kind of Woman, a little later on. I think we have time just for a fast call from Rip of L.A. Rip, go ahead on the rock line and talk to Stevie.
How you doing, Stevie?
Did anybody say let her rip to you? You're supposed to
Okay, what I wanted to ask you is, what's your favorite song to do on stage, and why it's your favorite?
Sarah.
Yeah, we were just talking about Sarah, and we were hoping we could, get around to it.
But none of us have a copy of it.
Well, something went down. I'll say about it. We'll be right back on Rockline with Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac, and she'll be taking your calls. We'll play some of her brand new music and talk to David Lindley, too, a little later on the show. So give us a call, 800-421-3222, or area code 213-520-5000.
Can't keep Sarah down for nothing.
No, I can't keep Sarah down for nothing. Stay tuned for more rock and roll on the Rockline with Stevie Nicks.
WPLR New Haven. back to Rockline in Hollywood, already in progress.
Back on the rock line with my guest, Stevie Nicks here. And Stevie, why did Lindsey Buckingham call the Rumours LP a, quote, soap opera album?
Well, I have to tell you, Lindsay was never a big watcher of soap operas, unlike myself.
Okay.
Because it really was. It was, don't worry, I've written it all down.
Okay.
Someday you'll read the story. It was, it was, it was a marriage breaking up. It was Lindsay and me for 7 years breaking up. And it was all of us looking at each other going, so you've got something else to do?
Yeah.
Do you want to go get a job somewhere else?
Yeah.
Is it, can we live together and try to, is the music good enough to possibly get over this incredible bummer that we're all going through? And it was, because nobody wanted to go out and do anything else.
Yeah.
Music is your life, it's my life. It's, you do what you can, but you do music.
No matter what the trauma is,
Yeah.
you just build through.
Yeah,
Right.
you get through it.
Very good. Let's go. You know who's on the line right now?
Who?
From near your hometown, Phoenix. Sarah. Are you ready? Sarah, talking to us from Phoenix. Go ahead, Sarah. Sarah, hello.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine, Sarah.
Good. I was wondering, since I knew that you knew Elton John personally.
Well, not real well, Sarah.
No?
I know him like, hi, Elton.
Oh, okay.
And hi, Elton, how are you? I just don't know him very terribly well.
Enough to ever communicate on the person that you think you may be writing about?
Which person is that?
I guess I'd be referring to the one you referred to as Sarah and the Moon Mama. And
What has this got to do with Elton John?
Yeah. Sarah, what does it have to do with Elton John?
well, just in the lyrics themselves and how they flow along, and how even before he's talked about going to find the yellow moon and meet with his lost tribe and such.
Okay, wait a minute. Now,
wait.
have you figured out some kind of a cool idea story between Elton and me? That's how I wrote my song, Sarah. I figured those things out too. I don't understand exactly what you mean between me and him, because me and him never did anything except say hi.
In other words, you're reading to the lyric something that is not there. You got that, Sarah? Okay, thank you. Let's go to Leslie of Tacoma. Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Hi, Leslie.
I have a question for you, Stevie. I read in a magazine once, I don't remember the exact publication, that you were very much into the occult, and that sometimes on a tour you would dedicate a song or an entire concert to a group of witches. Is that true?
Leslie, don't believe what you read, ever. Unless I tell you from my own mouth, don't ever believe any of that, because that's not true. I dedicate Landslide every night to somebody, and I only dedicate it to somebody that I love, be it my mother or my best friend when I was in 7th grade in Salt Lake, or my best friend when I was in the 3rd grade in El Paso, Texas, or my father. That is absolutely out of my realm. And if I'm not being serious with you. I'm just telling you, don't believe people, because it's not true. If you really want to know something like that, you call me.
Go to the source, my dear. Let's go to Bob of Tucson over at KWFM. Hi, Bob.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Steve.
Hi.
Stevie. Hey, we'd like to know how you get your ideas for the different clothing costumes that you wear when you're playing.
To capsulize it real fast for you, when I first started 6 years ago, I did one tour with Fleetwood Mac, right? And I just took everything I owned in 1,500 suitcases. And, of course, every night that 1,500 suitcases was unpacked and on the floor. But, of course, nothing matched. So I said, I've got to figure this out, because if I'm so worried about what I wear, how am I going to be able to be good on stage? Like when you're in the 7th grade and you wear something to school and you hate it and you have to go home at lunch and change? I said, I'm not going to think. So I decided I wanted to look sort of like an Elizabethan Dickens urchin with raggy clothes, right? Raggy skirts and raggy boots. And so I went to a lady whose name is Margie, who designs all my clothes. And I said, Margie, I want you to make me a skirt that looks like it's rags, but make it out of the finest black chiffon. And she said, oh, okay, she's crazy, but I'll do this. And what happened is that I love this particular way to look so much that that's what I wear. That's what I've worn for 6 years, except I have a few different colors. And I also wear them in my regular life. It's just a kind of a raggy look, kind of a ragamuffin with a little bit of an elegance look. And it also takes away, you don't have to think about it because you know you love these things. So you put them on and you forget about it. And when I walk out on stage, I don't worry anymore about how I look. 'Cause if you worry about how you look, you don't sing very well.
And tell me, and Bob, let me tell you that she's looking great tonight. What are you wearing tonight? You're wearing a diaphanous kind of a skirt. Well, it's not really diaphanous.
No, it's really actually just...
It's multicolored, beautiful.
It's a kind of a summer dress, but it has that rag look.
It has that rag look, and you got the leather boots.
Yeah, and well, these are the stage. These are the whites. These are the boots and the, yeah.
Okay, we've described as much as I possibly can. Of course, the lady looks as beautiful as always. Let's go now to Chris of San Diego over the station known as KGB-FM. Hello there.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay.
Hi, Stevie.
Hi.
First of all, I just want to say I'm a musician, and you've been a great inspiration to me. And I love you and your music a lot. You got a lot of class.
Well, thank you.
And I have a question for you. I heard a tape of you doing a song called Goldfish and Ladybug.
You bought that bootleg album, didn't you?
Given to me by a friend.
Meet the goldfish and the ladybug fell in love.
Song. And I was wondering, I heard it could be made into a movie or something. Whatever happened to it?
Well, nothing happened to it. Somebody stole the tape out of my house because that's the only way that tape, Lindsay and I did probably in about 1973 in our basement. So the only people that have that tape is me and all of my friends. Now, I have a lot of friends, but still, it's like there's a certain, on that bootleg album that you're talking about, there's a certain era of songs that came right out of a house I lived in up in the hills of Hollywood. They were, because I know when it stops and when it began. You know, it's like I write so many songs that I can tell what time period it was. And that particular bunch of songs had to be just taken right out of my house and cassetted from cassette to cassette to cassette. And I even think that they went so far as to take the cassette back to my house, so I never noticed that it was gone. And you know what? The reason you don't hear any music on that is because Lindsay accidentally erased the acoustic guitar. And to finalize it, yes, the ladybug and the goldfish that fell in love with each other but couldn't live together because if she went out of the water, if she went into the water, she would drown. And if the goldfish came out of the water, he would die.
Okay, that's it for this particular part of the Rockline Affair with Stevie Nicks and the Beamer. I have more of Stevie's music upcoming. Don't forget, because David Lindley's standing by to talk to you. Don't go away. Rockline will be right back on the Global Satellite Network. We are back on the Rockline with Stevie Nicks, and we're taking your calls at area code 800-421-3222. And the Beamer reminds you it's also area code 213-520-5000. That's collect for California and Canada. How you doing so far, Stevie? Having fun?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun listening to you because you're getting some off the wall out of left field calls.
They warned me about that.
Yeah, right. Let's talk now to Kara, not Sarah, of Dallas, listening to over at the zoo. Hello there, Kara.
Hi. I was wondering, Stevie, I come from an occult musical background, and you were explaining your costumes. What I needed to know is, do you choose your colors? Like, is it a mood thing to go like along with mirror patterns or that type of thing to combine with the vibrations of the music to present a certain, to project a certain thing? I mean,
Absolutely.
Was that very important to you?
Yeah. See, I have all these outfits that are exactly alike, right? Same skirt, same blouse, same leotard, different colors. If I'm real tired and I'm depressed or I'm unhappy, I wear red because there's something in red that gives me strength. If I'm really feeling very, very cool and very kind of dark, then I wear black. If I really need a lot of airiness, I'll wear real pale pink. And since they're all alike, I'm not making a choice of what I wear. I'm just making a choice of color. Yes, color. It's like, you do your room in the color you love the most. When I need strength from different things, I use different colors.
Okay, let's talk now to Gary of Portland. Hello, Gary. How are you?
Hello, Stevie.
Hello.
Do you think you can continue to do solo albums and be in the group Fleetwood Mac?
Gary, if you had as many songs as me, if you were backlogged as much as I was, you would understand. Of course I can. In fact, I could join 5 or 6 more groups and maybe get rid of all the songs I have to get rid of because there are so many. And see, the problem is that every time I write a new song, I think to myself, well, what is this for? This is 10 years from now, right? Because you've already got, you're backlogged so badly that you can't move. So I need outlets, in a band like Fleetwood Mac, there are 3 singers, there are 3 writers. That means that you as one writer only get 1/3, which is fine because it's a beautiful thing to have 3 people to work with. You're never going to be boring when you're working with 3 people. But at the same time, I keep writing. So I need an outlet. That's the reason I did a solo album. I need an outlet for my songs. I can't just, keep piling them in the attic.
And Gary of Portland, listening to us over at KGON, Stevie told me she started writing about 16, at the age of 15 or 16, so
exactly,
she's got
when I was
hundreds
16.
and hundreds of songs, so she'll get around. Let's now go to Lisa of Norfolk. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to tell you that I think that your writing is something very special, and I know that you hear it all the time.
No, I don't. And I love to hear it. That's the best thing you could ever say to me. Don't ever think for a second I don't love to hear that, because I do. Anytime you want to tell me that, you just write it or tell me, and I will be knocked out.
A little later on, Lisa, I'll give you the address. You can write if there's any...
Lisa, you can send me a note once a week.
Right.
Stevie, your songs are happening.
Yeah, we'll give you. We can send the letters to ROCKLINE. We'll pass them off to Stevie.
Really?
Okay, then we'll do that. You just mentioned that there were 3 writers, 3 singers. I mean, how do you guys divvy up?
One third.
Do you submit, like, say, 10 songs to the guys and Christine?
Nobody submits. In Fleetwood Mac, everybody walks in, they play their favorite songs first, and then everybody goes, well, that's not really that terrific. And then and then one person slumps away and says, well, I have another one. No, there's never any plan. No, it's impulsive.
Okay, so how much material have you got for the new album? You started in Paris, or you started?
Well, I have 3 songs on it.
No.
One third.
But I mean, how far down the line, insofar as toward completion, is the new LP?
Well, I have a tape that I'm madly practicing to, and it's one third, and it's wonderful. It's Fleetwood Mac.
It's Fleetwood Mac. We got more calls. As a matter of fact, let's go to while we punch up more calls on 800-421-3222, and for the U.S. of A. and for Canada and California.
It's a good thing I don't have to remember that number.
I got over there on the wall there. I'm memorizing it. Area code 213-520-5000. I'm just reading it off. Why don't you tell a story about Kind of Woman? How you came to write it? It's about a 7 or 8-year-old song.
Okay.
It's the flip side of Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Okay, go ahead.
This is not to give any attention to anybody in the world except to. Well, this has to be Lindsay's song, because I wrote this song about Lindsay. In 1973, we weren't exactly rolling in the money. And Lindsay got an offer to go on the road with the Everly Brothers, minus one brother. But Lindsay and me were the original, after the Everly Brothers. And so we needed money, and he didn't want to work as a waitress, so he went. And I was very, very jealous and very heartsick and very bummed out that I didn't get to go. In fact, I was really, really unhappy about it. So I wrote this song about what I thought it would be for somebody that was, Lindsay was darling, and I thought somebody's going to snag him out there for sure. And so I was imagining the groupies with the black feathers and the rhinestones and the boots and the black stockings, and I was dying. I'm going, so right, I go to work every morning, and you are out there on the road, right, being an Everly brother. So Kind of Woman was, you didn't mean to meet her, right. You're going to call me and tell me that?
Okay, here's Kind of Woman.